Picture this. You're sitting on the couch. Your Chihuahua jumps next to you, stares at you for a few seconds, and then suddenly turns around 3 times before lying down with a huge sigh. Nothing unusual, right? But what if that tiny moment was actually your dog trying to tell you something important? The truth is, Chihuahuas communicate constantly. The problem is that most owners only notice the obvious signals: barking, tail wagging, excitement at dinner time. Meanwhile, their little dogs are sending dozens of other messages every single day. Some mean happiness, some mean stress, and some are signs that your Chihuahua trusts you more than anyone else in the world. So today, we're talking about the signs every Chihuahua owner should pay attention to, and what your tiny companion is really trying to say. Because once you understand these signals, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. The following game.
Have you ever noticed your Chihuahua following you everywhere? Sometimes it feels less like owning a dog and more like having a 4-pound bodyguard. A lot of people joke about it, but this behavior actually means something important. Chihuahuas are incredibly loyal dogs. They form extremely strong attachments to their favorite humans, and following you around is often their way of feeling safe and connected. It's their version of saying, "Where you go, I go." Of course, there is a difference between healthy attachment and separation anxiety. A happy Chihuahua can relax when you're busy or in another room. But if your dog panics the second you leave, cries excessively, or destroys things while you're gone, that might be a sign they need more confidence-building activities. Still, in most cases, your tiny shadow isn't being clingy. They're simply showing love in the most Chihuahua way possible.
The big sigh after curling up. One of the cutest sounds in the world has to be that dramatic Chihuahua sigh. You know the one. They circle around, make their little bed perfect, flop down, and then sigh. That long exhale isn't just adorable. It's often a sign of comfort and relaxation. Dogs release tension through their breathing, just like humans do. When your Chihuahua lets out one of those big theatrical sighs while settling next to you, it usually means they feel safe enough to completely let their guard down. Considering how naturally alert and cautious this breed can be, that's actually a huge compliment. Your presence has become their safe place. And honestly, that's something every Chihuahua owner should feel proud of.
When the ears start talking, people focus so much on tails that they forget something important. A Chihuahua's ears tell an entire story. Forward ears, they're curious, alert, interested in what's happening. Relaxed ears to the side, they're comfortable and calm. Pinned back with a lowered body, something is making them nervous. Learning to read ear positions can help you understand your dog long before barking or other obvious behaviors appear. Imagine meeting a new person. Your Chihuahua's ears suddenly move backward, even though they're staying quiet. That's valuable information. They're telling you they're uncertain. Maybe they need more time. Maybe they need reassurance. The better we listen to these small signals, the better companions we become.
The famous Chihuahua tremble. Now let's talk about the thing everyone knows, the shaking. People see a trembling Chihuahua and instantly assume something terrible is happening. Sometimes that's true, but often it isn't. Chihuahuas shake for all kinds of reasons. They're cold, they're excited, they're nervous, they're overwhelmed, or sometimes they're simply burning energy. Their tiny bodies lose heat incredibly quickly, which is why so many of them love blankets, sweaters, and sleeping under absolutely everything they can find. The key is paying attention to context. Are they shaking during fireworks? That's probably stress. Are they trembling because you just picked up the leash? That's pure excitement. Are they cold after a walk on a chilly morning? Well, they're basically telling you that winter was a terrible invention. Understanding the difference matters, because not every shake means fear, but every shake means communication. The slow blink of trust. Here's something many owners completely miss. Your Chihuahua looks at you, you look back, and then they slowly blink. It almost feels like they're smiling. In the animal world, direct staring can sometimes be threatening. Slow blinking, on the other hand, signals relaxation and trust. Cats are famous for this, but dogs do it too. A Chihuahua that slowly blinks while resting near you isn't worried about protecting itself. It feels secure. There's no urgency, no fear, no need to stay alert, just peace. And for a breed known for being protective and watchful, that's a beautiful thing. When they bring you their favorite toy, Think about your Chihuahua's absolute favorite possession. Maybe it's an old stuffed animal, a tiny squeaky toy, or some random object they decided is more valuable than gold. Now imagine they bring it to you, not because they want to play, just because they want you to have it. That means something. Dogs naturally guard resources they consider important. So when your Chihuahua willingly shares their favorite item, they're showing trust. It's a little gift, a tiny declaration that says, "You're part of my family. What's mine is yours." Of course, every dog is different. Some Chihuahuas are toy hoarders. Others are generous philanthropists. But if your dog regularly brings you treasured possessions, appreciate the gesture. You're being included in their inner circle.
The stare that feels human. Every Chihuahua owner knows this look. You're eating, watching TV, working on your laptop, and suddenly you feel eyes on you. You turn around, your Chihuahua is staring directly into your soul. Sometimes it's because they want food, let's be honest, but other times they're simply checking in. Dogs are incredibly social animals. Eye contact with trusted humans releases bonding hormones, including oxytocin, the same chemical involved in parent-child relationships. Your Chihuahua isn't just looking at you, they're maintaining connection. They're making sure their favorite person is still there. It's one of the reasons this breed forms such powerful emotional bonds. And honestly, that's why so many Chihuahua owners say these tiny dogs completely steal their hearts.
Sleeping positions tell a story. Where your Chihuahua sleeps can reveal a lot. Curled up tightly in a ball, they're conserving warmth and feeling cozy. Sleeping on their back with their belly exposed, that's maximum trust. The belly is one of the most vulnerable parts of a dog's body. A Chihuahua that sleeps like this feels safe enough to be completely defenseless. Then, there's the classic Chihuahua move, sleeping directly on top of their human. No personal space, no negotiations, just pure confidence that this is now their bed. And you're lucky to be included. Funny? Absolutely. But it also reflects how deeply attached they are to their people.
When they lean against you, not every sign is dramatic. Sometimes, the most meaningful ones are incredibly simple. A gentle lean against your leg, resting their tiny body against your arm, pressing close while sitting on the couch. Physical contact provides comfort and security for dogs. For Chihuahuas especially, being close to their favorite human is one of life's greatest pleasures. It's their version of a hug, their way of saying, "I'm comfortable here." And if your Chihuahua chooses to spend quiet moments simply leaning on you, that's one of the clearest signs of trust you'll ever get.
The amazing thing about Chihuahuas is that they're always communicating, not with words, but with tiny habits, small gestures, looks, sighs, blinks, and little moments most people never notice. The more attention we pay, the more we understand them. And once that happens, our relationship with them becomes something even deeper. So here's a question for you. Which one of these signs does your Chihuahua show the most? Is your dog a professional shadow that follows you everywhere? A dramatic sighing expert? Or maybe a tiny guardian that stares at you like they know all your secrets? Share your Chihuahua's funniest habits down in the comments. Dog lovers always have the best stories. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more content celebrating these incredible little dogs that somehow fit enormous personalities into such tiny bodies. Also, visit my newsletter, and see you in the next one.